All right. Blue-green self-mill. We played this yesterday, and it felt like a sweet deck for going up over the top of other mid-range and control decks in the format. The basic idea is that with Cavalier of Thorns, Risen Reef, and Quasiduplicate, we can flip our deck into the bin and then win with Jace. We can also just win by having a bunch of Cavaliers or by Quasi-duplicating Agent of Treachery over and over and over again, which is sweet. I've added some Wicked Wolves into the main deck today because I felt like we were missing that card last time. We got to round out the playset and the board. Let's go ahead and dive on into some matches with this one and see if this one feels as sweet today as it did yesterday. Yesterday, this was our standard deck of the day. If you hear deck of the day and you wonder what in the heck does that mean, every single day when we play, I tag 1 or 2 deck lists depending on how many decks we play as my favorite decks. Usually I pick at least 1 for each format if we play multiple in each format. That way, if you're a normal human being who can't watch all of my content, lets you kind of find the best of the best quite easy. Oh, turn 2 Oko and fully foil. That's great. Pioneer was great. Looking forward to playing more tomorrow. Oko now with 100% more shimmery abs. A tapped land. A tapped land. It makes borderless food, chat. It makes borderless food. It's everything I didn't know. He makes borderless food too. Well, that's rude. That elk hurts Oko. I agree. So many of the cosmetic details surrounding Arena are really well done. I like a lot of them.
Let's broaden your existence.
What was that noise? That was me speaking to my fellow whales in the audience. Broko doesn't really fight Nissa very well, chat. Broko and Nissa don't get along. Pioneer build-arounds are $25 on the website. Nope, that's correct. We had a fire sale on Pioneer build-arounds to start. I need to update the pricing and the base submission for now. I'm going to keep build-arounds at 25 for a little while, though. Well. Is it crazy to just play an Oko this turn? Oh, I should have shocked that in, right? If I was playing this, I should have shocked that in. Oh, if I played Oko, I could have killed this. Oh, that's super dumb. I'm super dumb. Yeah, I should have shocked this in. I should have played Oko, killed the Nissa. I wasn't thinking about this. I was thinking about playing defense and not killing their thing, and they were tapped out. Now they need to, like, play Creases and kill me. Is Deckmaster loaded? Did Deckmaster load itself? It did. Black, White, and Pioneer. Will do. Thanks for the support. Some terrible Pioneer submissions coming your way soon. Sounds good. As a heads up, I had such a run on people. Yeah, I super deserve to die here. I super messed this up. Feels bad, man. I did, but I'm not a big fan of my cards looking inconsistent.
I see you don't share my vision.
Oh.
Let's broaden your existence.
We do have a lot of food. If we hit one of our 3 main deck agents, we could win this game. Cavalier probably gets us in it too. Have another Hydra. Open MTGA store, go to store, click on standard 2020 bundle to check out details. Program promptly crashes. Sounds right.
The land shall conquer you.
Sounds about right. Well, okay, just go to 2 here. Yes, creatures with 1/1 counter down, they keep the counters when they turn into elks. It's an unfortunate game. We'd have won if we'd have killed the Nissa. Oh. Yeah.
The land bestows opportunity for those who are worthy.
I don't know. I think I'd rather ban Nissa than Krasis, but either could go. And if like I've said before, I definitely think banning only Field of the Dead was a huge mistake. Well, it removes flying and trample if you elk a Krasis. No, there's no blue-green food list on my website. We haven't played that archetype much. People don't send me money to play stock good decks. There's plenty of people that play stock good decks on stream for free.
Ooh, I feel so alive.
Which is why Modern stopped working, because Modern's a format that's awful if people are paying you to play bad decks. Playing bad decks in Modern is just like 0-3ing league after league after league. Alright, not a huge fan of Wicked Wolf in this matchup. Stroke and Gust are great. What do I want to trim? Build-arounds are 5 sub-gifts, $25. I'd ask that you please get your build-around submissions approved by using the deck queue. So the first step towards using the deck queue is filling out the form that's linked on my website. If you've never done it before. I do not take all submissions. Sometimes someone says something in and I'm like, I don't think I can really work with that. Okie doke. A Grixis player bring an Ego against your Aristocrats deck and Ego Oven after I already had 2 out. Well, you know, a player that sideboarded wrong making a play mistake then. Like, not 2. Thanks, Lucas. It's pretty pretty sweet. So like now we can make a food this turn with the Goose, and the next turn we can play Jace, then we can play Cavalier as the follow-up. Unless it's for a tier 3 sub, your username doesn't really matter. Yeah, self-mill. To draw our back half of our Quasiduplicates with Jace, which is great. Turn 3 Nissa. Burp, 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 do.
It's a matter of guilt.
It's pretty good. It's a mix of the two. Neil, Giraffe, Tyson. I'm excited to get Disdainful Stroke here. Turn 3. Turn 3 Planeswalker. Also counter your spell. That's so miserable. Vomit. Says this is not okay. This is just not okay. I really wonder. It's like, I know they did test the cards, but like, it makes you feel like they didn't really test these cards, right? Because like, it feels like them not having tested the cards is the only possible answer that leads to this format. Like, who tested them? Can I speak to a manager, please? I don't believe you. Handware Elves by Birds. I mean, it's like better than Birds of Paradise in a lot of ways. I think Birds of Paradise would be worse than Gilded Goose in these food decks by a lot. I mean, if I alter Nissa, I'm just dead to these, right? This doesn't matter. Just too far behind. And I think I actually, until someone had donated to see this deck played again today, I had taken this deck off my list of decks that I was planning to play in the MCQ this weekend. I'm pretty sure I'm playing an Oven deck because I think not playing Nissa is a mistake, and I think if you try and work Nissa and Krasis into here, you should just be playing the stock food deck. I'm pretty much done with Magic until WotC commits to a viable, supported Eternal format on Arena. Mythgard is bait. Yeah, I don't think you're alone. The number of people who I had messaged me that were like, I wasn't gonna try Mythgard, but then the Pioneer announcement happened and Historic just gets crapped on, and it's just like, give me a go. Can we just ban the War Planeswalkers? Maybe that's the solution. And it's not even just Simic decks that are forced to play it. Like, if you're playing green in this format and there's not blue and Oko in your deck's probably misbuilt. Like, it's probably, your deck is probably just built wrong. Was that a good draw, chat? What do we think? What do we think about that draw?
It's not poison. Trust me.
I disagree. I think the people who say Planeswalkers in general are bad, I think those people are being overreacting and being silly. I actually think Planeswalkers are an incredibly interesting and deep part of the game. The way I like to think about planeswalkers, I think makes a lot of sense to think about them in this way, is that planeswalkers are basically artifacts and enchantments that you can interact with via combat. Like, well-designed planeswalkers are more than fine. The problem is we're currently experiencing a format where there's a lot of planeswalkers that can only be described as not well-designed.
I think a little merriment is in order.
Yeah, planeswalkers are basically punchable enchantments. They create complex decision trees and reward being good at managing large board states, which is one of the more difficult things Magic offers players to do. Well put. I hadn't thought about it that way. I guess I'm letting myself be biased by the badly designed planeswalkers we have now. Yeah. Yeah, the energy mechanic in Mythgard is very, very similar to planeswalkers, essentially. Didn't notice. I did the little thing. Thanks for the 12 months, like Amash. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. And, like, they killed my Oko here, but, like, at what cost, right? Like, it cost them everything. MS-DOS, thank you for the tier 3 resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. This Risen Reef isn't blocking, so I'm just going to go ahead and attack with it here. And, like, next turn I can Quasiduplicate this Wicked Wolf. We need another thing. Yeah, Wicked Wolf is, like, not a little boy. He is all grown up and ready to show you his bark. A lot of people that I know that don't like walkers, don't like that you often have one turn to get rid of them or you get buried. A lot of them really like the flip design walkers in comparison. Yeah. And I think, I know they're still, like, experimenting with these things, but, like, you know, we went from walkers, like, what's the word they're for? We went from walkers that were, like, the overbearing 5-mana planeswalker design to, like, some of these bad designs for war. And I actually think, like, there's a number of, like, reasonable planeswalkers out there. Like, Tibalt's a good example of a reasonable planeswalker. I think 4-mana Tameo's pretty reasonable overall. What are some other good ones? 4-mana Ral. Jace Bellerin's a great planeswalker. I think this planeswalker is an excellent design. 4-mana Vraska is a great design. There are a ton of really well-designed planeswalkers. Saheeli is a good 3-mana planeswalker. Yep, I agree with that one. Completely agree. Let's attack Chandra with this, which will cause them to chump block, so otherwise I eat the food and kill their Chandra. Where does Architect of Thought? I think Architect of Thought's a very well-designed planeswalker. It's powerful, but not oppressive.
I'm late to meditation anyway.
3-mana Domri is a fine medium, I agree. 4-mana Domri is good in the right deck. Light 'em up. We're on fire. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Do, 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 do. Remember when Jace the Mind Sculptor broke Modern? I certainly don't. I don't recall fiction. I like when they move towards build around planeswalkers. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, the revealed card thing is a little bit different. It caused me to trip up there for a second. That's fine, though. Looks fine. Scions is a good Planeswalker. Scions is even an example of, like, a good high loyalty 3-mana Planeswalker. This is, like, more than fine. Gross, are we dead? Close to it. Nah, we're okay. We're gonna take 6 here down to 10. So I'm gonna make a food. I'm gonna go block. One of these will get blocked by the wolf. And one will get blocked by the grazer. The wolf will eat a food. Because this is gonna deal extra damage otherwise. Banning Goose and Grazer would be good for the format, yeah. And the next turn I get to go make a food, Quasiduplicate my wolf, eat your Torbrand. Gobble, gobble. Go. Yeah, the Quasiduplicate is definitely good. The wolf pack is all here for sure. Oh. To drag our curve down here a good bit. Just enough for lethal. Oh, yeah, scraped it. Scraped by there. You need to hold. You do not actually have to hold priority. So Arena automatically does it for you, which is great. So, hoping to draw a non-Fabled Passage here on one. So that way we can play, I guess even that doesn't do it. So, like, we get to do this here, but, like, we can't Oko next turn because this is going to be tapped still. Which kind of sucks. It's possible the Fabled Passages in this mana base are wrong. The mana base is just pretty taxing because we're trying to play, like, triple blue Jace and triple green Cavalier. I think I'm going with an Oven deck for the MCQ turns. Could turn out better than anticipate now. Food decks trying to outgreed each other could help you. I don't know. Yeah, I think if I play an Oven deck, it's probably the 4-color Oven deck, just because that deck gets to play Oko. Like, I feel like the food package just incidentally beats you up. We're pretty dead here, it feels like. I guess if we draw a land for Oko next turn, we can elk this, then maybe be okay. Alright. On to game the third. Magic's an incredibly low variance game, etc., etc. We'll bottom this, then grab a goose with this. They're one of those hideous non-foil cards back on the bottom. Please share your thinking on that first mulligan. It just didn't do anything. I don't even remember what it was now at this point. Like, why do you think it was keepable? Can you explain what cards you think make it keepable, and we can dissect from there? Mythgard has been fun, but one of my favorite factors, I think, is that mythics and rares have a higher power level because you get to play fewer of them. Yeah. Could you imagine if you were only allowed to play one Oko in your decks? Like how much of a difference experience that would be? Regarding Pioneer, I mean, what is there to know about Pioneer? What do I care about that format? Like, what do I care to know? Like, is there more to know? Are they giving it more support than it already has? Can they possibly give it more? 2 Forest, Gilded Goose, Grazer, 2 Duplicate, Risen Reef. I don't know. It definitely did not have turn 2 Risen Reef. I would have kept that. All right, well, that sucked. This is a crappy set of games overall. MC6's Pioneer. I doubt it. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think this deck's kind of cute, but I also think it's just, like, fundamentally wrong to be playing a green ramp deck like this and not have Nissa in it. Like, the thrashing we got from the stock blue-green food deck in the first match of that set, I think is a pretty good example of why you just shouldn't be playing a deck like this instead of the stock build. Like, obviously we got a bit unlucky in the second match against the red deck, but like the food deck's gonna be popular, and I don't think this deck is meaningfully better in the food mirror just because, like, even though you have good stuff to go over the top like this, they just Nissa you with their fast Nissa draws and you just can't win. And I think that those just balance out. Watch your reaction video and just poked to see how much I agree with your statement about Oko versus Field. Playing against Field was so much better and felt beatable than these Oko decks. I agree. I agree with you agreeing with me. All right, let's go on to our second of 3 standard Oko decks today. The viewer count's actually gone down since we shifted to standard. Hope that's not a sign of things to come. If that's a sign of things to come. That's a sign of things to come, yeah. So results don't matter. Your results are meaningless. My results are meaningless. You'll notice when I talk about the decks and I talk about why they're good or bad, I don't say this deck was bad because I went 0-2 or it's good because I went 5-0. You'll hear me talk about the specifics of the deck and how matchups tend to line up on average some of the time. So like when talking about why I was kind of off that deck, I talked about how things line up in the matchups that I care about. Can we ban Oko, ban Goose, ban Once, ban whoever made the field decision? I agree. Sounds good. All right, I'm going to run a quick ad before we dive into this next one so I meet my quota. I'm pretty much set up, so we're just going to do quick 2 minutes. When we get back, we're going to play this Yarok Desecrated Cauldron Familiar.